Willow Creek Springs presents Healthy Living with your host, Joe Grumbine.
Well, hello and welcome to the Healthy Living Podcast brought to you by Willow Creek Springs. I'm Joe Grumbine, your host, and we're just going to jump right on into it today. So we've been doing this podcast for a little over a year now, and I'm really happy to see it starting to take off. And, you know, these things do take time, but we've had over 35 guests already, and we just published our 50th episode. We've got another 5 or 6 in the can. And looking at the progress and the way that we're going to move forward, and I'm pretty pleased with the variety of guests that we've had. And if you're listening to this, I encourage you to go all the way back to the beginning. We've got everything from doctors to Reiki practitioners to Ayurvedic medicine practitioners to just goes on and on and on, to simple folks who just don't use pharmaceuticals, or people sharing their experiences of overcoming adverse conditions, illness, disease, whatever. We're really starting to get a community going. And so that being said, I always keep these shows very PG. Don't want anybody to stumble their way in here and go, oh shit, what have I done? I don't want to be here because these people are being a little too raw or a little too graphic or a little too whatever. But then I was thinking about it and some of the stories and some of the, especially from my personal experience, but I got to figure if I'm experiencing this, probably a lot of other people are. And I thought about setting up the subscription side of this. You know, they have an opportunity for somebody to pay a couple of bucks a month and have access to exclusive content. And I thought, you know, sometimes that's the thing that people want. And that's the thing that people are willing to share if they've got a little bit of, I don't know, protection of just not the everyday troll walking through looking for somebody to give grief to. At very least, what I'm thinking about, we have a subscription option on here now. I haven't published any subscriber only content, but I'm going to. And, you know, this is a conversation about healthy living, mind, body, and spirit. And that really can encompass just about anything, as long as we can tie a lesson to an experience or a set of experiences. And if you know me, you know I've been through a lot of experiences, shall we say, and there's a lot of things I've never talked about. There's a lot of things, you know, I've always tried to keep things very antiseptic, in the sense of I don't ever want to step on anybody when I'm telling my story. But, you know, we go through life, and your side of the story is often very different from what the other side experienced. And we've talked about this a couple of times. And my hope is that we're going to get all sides of a story. And so I can see a lot of content that I could publish that would be very descriptive, very graphic, very not something that I would really just put out there for the whole world to hear. And so I've got content, probably, I don't know, plenty of episodes that I could bring to myself. I want to see if any of you are interested in this. I don't want to go and create a bunch of content that nobody wants to hear, but at the same time, you know, it's very cathartic to share some of these things. Part of what I'm doing is creating a narrative of my legacy. You know, people want to say, who the hell was this guy? You got several podcasts and a lot of different places that I'm leaving my story behind. Whether it all gets consolidated into one, who knows? But this is all stuff that has to do with healthy living, and I think could be very informative, could be persuasive, could be eye-opening, certainly would be interesting, and interesting enough to pay a couple of bucks for. Who knows? We'll see. So encouraging you to let me know what you think. I'm going to put a little teeny Easter egg in here for those of you who bothered to listen. I'm going to drop a little $25, good for two. The first two that come in here, hit me up for a twofer, and that'll give you your $25 Easter egg for Willow Creek Spring stuff. That's obviously not the reason we're doing this, but I just always like to drop a little something, and when I can, in a place where some people will come and others won't. And if you want to know what that's all about, hit me up and I'll tell you about Willow Creek Springs. But bottom line is, do we want to have content that is subscriber only? And what do you want that content to include? You know, obviously there's a different language that would probably come forth here. There would be examples, anecdotes of some things that it might be uncomfortable or very personal, or, you know, I'm still personally myself gonna maybe just use first names if I'm going to talk about an experience that involves somebody else. I don't think I would ever disclose fully the people that have been in and out of my life. When it comes to describing things about me, I have no problem. I'll tell you whatever you want to hear. When it comes to other people, we can be pretty darn graphic without incriminating or libelous or anything like that. So it's all about the truth. It's all about healthy living. Let me know what you think, and we'll keep this one short. Hopefully you find it interesting. Thank you. This has been the Healthy Living Podcast, brought to you by Willow Creek Springs. We'll see you next time.